Hey guys, welcome. This is the Real Crusades History live stream. I'm J. Stephen Roberts, and we are doing the usual Ask Me Anything About the Crusades show. So, hope everybody is doing well and ready to talk a little bit about medieval history, about the Crusades. So, today's a special show. We have back with us founder of ChristianChannel.com and also producer for the upcoming historical drama TV series Knights of the Cross. Mr. Austin Kelly is with us. So, Austin, hello. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm just happy to be on the podcast and, here to answer any questions about the show, where we're at with the project, and keeping you guys updated.
Yeah. So, Austin and I, of course, have been talking a lot lately about Knights of the Cross, this TV show we're working on. There's a lot that goes into preparing a show like this. Right now, some of the big stuff we're looking at, and we'll be getting into that in a little bit. Scripts, locations, wardrobe, and of course, this trailer that we're going to be doing. We're filming that January, so that's going to be pretty exciting. In fact, Austin and I just kind of had a bit of a breakthrough last weekend talking about our ideas for it, and we feel that we've come up with a pretty tight and powerful idea. So we might get into some of that today also. But yeah, so Austin, how are you feeling about Knights of the Cross? What do you think so far?
It's exciting, man, because like my whole vision for the Christian channel is to produce an epic story about the Crusades, and having you attached to the project, having your fans excited about the project. I want to visually tell them a great story, and I think with your storytelling and with our production, we're just gonna make like knock it out of the park. I really think so, just because of the locations we have and the talent we have for the digital trailer. It's gonna come out the same way you and I were going over references, because I don't know if you guys know, like I come from advertising. We reference content, and so what Stephen Roberts shared with me, I said not only could we pull it off, we could actually use. I'm getting a little technical, but sending him like, oh, we could use diesel lenses. We could, compress the shots, and I just want to update a lot of the fans. So originally with the Christian channel, like I said, I come from advertising. I have a couple movies under my belt, but I wanted to use another production company that J. Stephen Roberts and I met with, and unfortunately, that production company is they're very credible. Is not going to be attached to the project, and I don't want to say their name, but I'm very confident in the director that we selected. I might as well say his name's I call him Steven, but it's Stan Steinberg, Stan Steinberg, who's going to be in the project. I've worked with him for about 2 years on ads. He's great cinematographer, and we have equipment. So we're going to have two 6K cameras on set. We're going to be renting about $5,000 lenses for the digital trailer. And then when the digital trailer is released, I believe in February, that's the goal, right? On your channel. We want everyone watching to watch the digital trailer and then get so excited. And by then the Christian channel is already on, your Roku TV. You put the code Knights, and that helps us manage the budget when we go to Spain to film the first season of the show. So I know that when we make an amazing trailer, you guys are going to get excited. We're going to get excited, and that allows us to put a budget on the project when we go overseas. Oh, did we mention we're going to Spain, or is that news?
I think last time you came on, we did talk about Spain as a potential, main location for the filming for next year. And as it's turned out, Spain appears to be the destination as of now. There's one thing I was actually talking about last week when we were looking at some of the behind the scenes stuff. One thing that Austin and I have found is that a lot of the resources we really need to create authentic medieval history in a dramatic form, a lot of that is located in Europe. I mean, no surprise. And Spain is a prime, location for that. Spain's got a lot of historical sites that are very useful for the type of production we're doing. Spain's got the costumes, the historically accurate, weaponry, and the wardrobe that we need. So a lot of the wardrobe that we've looked at here in the States is not really adequate for what we're wanting to do, which makes sense. I mean, medieval history happens in Europe, or at least the type of the European history that we're interested in, the Crusades. And so it makes sense that this would be a good place for us to do this. So yeah, I mean, I really echo your enthusiasm for this project, Austin. And I was talking to actually talking to a couple of my friends who are medieval historians, some professors yesterday, and they were just really pumped about the idea of it. And they were saying, can we help, advise and stuff like that. And I was saying, yeah, absolutely, So yeah, I mean, Spain, that is going to be a great place to film this. And yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. The trailer, I really think you guys are going to be blown away by our idea for the trailer. I mean, it's one of the things that happens frequently in the history of the Third Crusade with Richard the Lionheart. Richard was famous for these rescues, actually. Like, you have these situations where you'd have a raiding party and maybe they'd get attacked by a group of Saracens and some people would be captured. And Richard did this thing, like, often in the Third Crusade. You can read about it in the Gesta Regis Ricardi, where he and a group of his guys would go out and just rescue whoever was captured in the latest raid. And so that is kind of a scenario that we feel would be a concise and impactful trailer. And that's going to be that's kind of going to be our idea for the trailer. We're going to create something like that. We're going to portray one of Richard's historically famous rescue operations. This is, we're wanting to get this into like a 3-minute, 2-minute type trailer. We feel that it could be done well in that way. And yes, somebody in the chat said you're talking about Richard the Lionheart. And yes, we are indeed. So quick super chat here from Anna. How's it going, Anna? She's got her picture there. Hi, Jay and Austin and everyone in chat. It seems I cannot subscribe to Christian channel. Is it not available in Europe yet?
It is available. It is available. It's christianchannel.com. I know there's a lot of domains that it's like .us, .canada. We're .com, and it is available. If it's free to subscribe for 7 days, and you could pre-order now using promo code NIGHTS.
Awesome. Yeah, and I would like to just plug that really quick for everybody. I'm going to put this in the chat. Austin and I are crowdfunding this project, and the way we're making this happen is through support from you guys. Go to christianchannel.com, pre-order a subscription for next year, use the promo code NIGHTS, you'll get 10% off. All that goes toward us making this project happen. So plus that, this is where the show is going to be available. The show is going to be exclusively on christianchannel.com. Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, when this trailer comes out and you guys see this, I mean, we are going to be competing on the same playing field as Kingdom of Heaven, as Arn the Knight Templar. That's exactly where the level this is going to be at. So, I mean, absolutely. So, yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I know we can just kind of keep talking about how excited we are about it. I know that you and I are just endlessly excited about this, and that is awesome. This is Michael Christian. He has Spanish ancestry, and he wants a shout out in the ending movie credits. Michael, of course. How could we not do that? Michael's
come on set. Come on set. Be an actor.
Yeah,
you're gonna get credit.
You're gonna have to revisit your Spanish heritage, Michael. So it's time for you to come home. Anna says thank you. Well, thank you, Anna.
You're welcome.
This is from Lucas. Wait, that's actually not the one I was going to look at from Lucas, but so let's see here. And Nalu says, seeing what Netflix really likes, I don't think they will air this. Yes, we are not doing this for any streaming service but our own, and that is christianchannel.com. A really good idea that Austin came up with, starting this streaming service. This is going to be the home for many years worth of Crusades content. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're going to be talking about some of our plans for the show. There are so yeah, we were just talking a little bit about the trailer. So let's kind of jump into this whole thing with Spain. I know you've been kind of working on this quite a bit lately, Austin. So what are some of your thoughts about filming in Spain and what we're going to be doing there?
Yeah, I mean, I want to share with the audience. There's a reason why we're filming in Spain, other than we really wanted to do the project in America, because what originally in Los Angeles, we could rent the props and the wardrobe and do casting and have everybody in LA, maybe behind a green screen. And there's a lot of great techniques that is not as cheesy. I'm sorry, I love Star Wars, but not as cheesy as like the Phantom Menace. Believe it or not, there are some great green screens, but we approached several studios, and I don't want to name any names, but were you on the meeting, Joe?
I may have been on that one.
Okay. So basically, some studios that are very famous in the United States have a backdrop that's very similar to what we needed as far as resources to produce this amazing show. And the talent, which is in Los Angeles, it would be a few hours drives away to make this happen. Now, the digital trailer will be here because I don't want to spoil it, but just a couple of the scenes with the dunes. If you've seen Star Wars: The New Hope, where there's the little droids walking in the sand dunes, that's here in California. I don't want to give too much away, but it's that location. That's the digital trailer. But to produce a show, a season 1, episode 1 through 7 or 1 through 9, that is that needs we need resources that could support our location and backdrop. So Spain was our second choice. Now, what happened was we had these meetings at these studios, and the studios were amazing. The prices were great. I think Joe could agree. The prices were good. The film on that location and on the set. But what happened was, this is, I don't say that, I'm going to say it publicly. The deal wasn't good because they ended up having, I think you have a lot of comments about Netflix and they won't make this. It's the same reason. In order for us to express creatively, to tell the truth about the Crusades, we can't allow studios to have final cut of the project. And I know a lot of your fans are like, what are you talking about? What's final cut? Final cut means we, as as Christian Channel Studios, cannot release a project without the studio's final cut. And that's why we weren't happy with that answer. And in order for, J. Stephen Roberts to produce and tell a true story about the Crusades, Spain allowed us that option to tell our stories and to get them approved easily, to accurately make these stories to the way Joe wants to present them. So I didn't want to, trust me when I tell you guys, the fans, I didn't want to allow another studio to have final cut of the project. And you'll know this from a lot of directors. And that's why a lot of movies don't do great, is because executives come in and they say, this is our lot. We're gonna tell you what to write. So granted, there's a lot of movie studios out there, but this that's not what I wanted out of the project. I really want Joe to tell his story, and I really want to depend on a studio production company that could provide us with many resources. So Spain allows this production company in Spain allows us to film a show at our budget, and to also give us resources like some of the sets you've seen on Game of Thrones. And we've been talking to some companies in Italy, but Spain seems to be the right fit. It meets our budget, and I'm really excited to bring the Crusades back to Spain. I don't think there's ever been a show, not that I know of, about the Crusades in Spain and actually filming it in Spain. So it was probably a blessing in disguise. But that's why we're doing the whole season out in Spain and not in the U.S. But granted, those studios were very nice. I just didn't like the idea of allowing them to have Final Cut, and so that's a long answer to what we've been going through. But we are taking meetings, I think every week, right, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, you and I talk about this pretty frequently, so absolutely. But yeah, and a lot of everybody online knows me as J. Stephen Roberts, but in real life, most people do call me Joe. So you guys are gonna have to get used to Austin calling me Joe. That's what pretty much everybody calls me who's not on Real Crusades history. But
you got to be like this. You got to be really cool.
But yeah, I mean, and I agree with Austin on that. I mean, one thing we have been working toward the whole time, as we've gotten this thing going, is we want control over the project. We want to be the ones making the calls, and once it's all done, we want to be able to release it because we like it, not because anybody else has to approve of it or something like that. So that's kind of what we've been fighting for, and that's what's going to happen. I'm glad to go to Spain anyway, just because I am a huge fan of the history of Spain. So it's going to be a treat for me to get to go hang out there and film there. So yeah. And now that we've been talking about that a little bit, let's go ahead and jump in and let everybody start asking questions. I know, normally what we do at the show is everybody can ask whatever they want about the Crusades, about history in general. And also, if you guys have questions about the TV show we're creating, Knights of the Cross, if you want to talk about that, if you want to ask questions about Christian Channel, signing up, all that stuff, just let us know in the chat and we will start addressing that. My good buddy here, Other Realm Productions, which I hope you guys will check out his YouTube channel. Other Realm Productions, he's been a huge asset for me with the videos. He pretty much provides the bulk of my video game footage for videos. So thank you for that, my friend. He asks a question for Austin. Does he know why the modern historically inspired series and movies always go for very dark colors in their costumes instead of vibrant colors that would exist in those times? Yeah, that's a good question. It is kind of funny. People, when they think of the Middle Ages, they tend to think of almost this leathery, almost biker gear type, heavy metal type outfits that people are walking around in a lot of the cheesy medieval themed shows. But yeah, in the Middle Ages, I mean, people wore bright colors. I mean, there was like there's definitely an affinity for brighter clothing. I mean, even among the peasantry, we have this idea that peasants just went around everywhere in, brown sackcloth or something. But people were into more colorful attire. What do you think, Austin?
I think we need to hire him.
Yeah. Yeah, we could use some of your advice on that stuff, Other Realm. Absolutely. So let's see here. This is our good buddy Lucas. He says you guys should film at Constantinople. Probably wouldn't work out, but we'll keep it in mind. Have you been to Turkey, Austin?
Me? No.
I have been. I've been
you?
one. I have.
Okay.
Yeah. interesting place. A lot of good history there. So I don't think it'd be a good place to film necessarily, though. Uh, Tom Griffin, another good friend of the channel, was Vlad III of Wallachia considered a crusader? Yeah, he was a member of one of the last crusading orders, this organization called the Order of the Dragon, I think was the name of it. In the 15th century, it was a bunch of mainly Eastern and Central European lords who were kind of committed to fighting the Ottomans. Obviously the Ottomans were the big Muslim power of that period. So, yeah, I mean, I guess he would be considered a crusader. He was basically a member of a crusading order. That's a little bit of a later historical figure, for me. I tend to be more 12th, 13th century. He's 15th century, but yeah. So here's one from Elijah. In your opinion, what is the best Dark Ages movie? I like that old King Arthur movie with who's the guy who played Captain Picard? Patrick Stewart, is that his name? The bald guy from Star Trek?
Patrick Stewart. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a really good 80s King Arthur movie with him in it. I like it. That's kind of Dark Ages, I guess. What's your favorite medieval themed movie, Austin?
Man, I don't have one. I mean, all the references that I have for the show are pretty much when I'm talking to the director, I'm like, Gladiator. Make it Gladiator, whatever you do, make it that epic. And so as far as technicality, for the equipment that we're using on set for the digital trailer is more likely going to be the same equipment we're going to use in Spain. So the lenses that we're using are going to capture exactly that gritty, gray type of fight lens for the camera to shoot for the project, because we really want to make the show cinematic. And I didn't want, if you guys are technical and camera gear, we didn't want to go in with a red. We really wanted to shoot with J. Stephen Roberts, no, we were in a meeting with another production company, and we really wanted to film the project with an ARRI. ARRIs are camera equipment that you see on the Joker, 1917. But unfortunately, that deal didn't go the way we wanted it to. So we have equipment at ChristianChannel.com. We're acquiring 2 cameras, and we're filming it. If you guys want to do a little bit of homework before the digital trailer, we're filming it with a Dieso film lens, which is a really great film lens to capture a cinematic story such as the Crusades. So I don't know. To answer your question, I'm coming in as a producer, but I leave the expertise to the new director of the project, Steven. His film name is Stan Steinberg, but I call people by their first name on projects, so I apologize. But yeah, to answer your question, I don't have a favorite. I just know that I want the Knights of the Cross to be the most epic Crusades TV show ever. I know there's 150,000 subscribers to this. Trust me, we're doing the best we can to get all of you to the Christian channel to watch this epic show. So we don't want to hold we want to go at it full force. We want to give you the most entertaining Crusades TV show ever, because we want you to subscribe to the Christian channel. And coming from us, if you like first season, you're going to subscribe for second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And we're going to be filming this for a very long time. So that's my goal. I hope that answered your question. But go ahead, J. Stephen Roberts.
No, that's a very good answer, Austin. And just to clarify, I have no problem with you calling me Joe. I just don't want to confuse everybody in the chat. I know, actually, when we used to do these live streams with Scott Amos, who's kind of one of the big guys on Real Crusades history early on, he used to kind of always accidentally start calling me that, and which is cool. Just don't want to confuse everybody out there. Austin's talking about me when he says Joe. Everybody's going to be like, "Who's this Joe guy? Joe? Who's that?" But yeah, that is me. That's what the J stands for. So, yeah, I mean, uh, the thing that's interesting about this project is, there's definitely a startup element to it, and uh, we have taken this approach of looking at our resources and determining, what are the best ways to make our first impact. And our first impact, obviously, is going to be this trailer. And one thing that Austin and I kind of decided to do was we wanted to zero in on something that would be very doable, with our budget early on. Um, and yeah, we really feel that sort of this rescue type scene, look, and this is historical. This comes from the source material for the Third Crusade. I mean, you can read about Richard the Lionheart doing these horseback rescue operations. We feel like that would be, this is something where it's like we can really zero in on something very specific. We've got the actors, we've got the horses, we've got the wardrobe, we've got the weapons. And we can do this, it's not like we need an elaborate set to do this. We can do this in the type of place where this would have happened, which would have been, a wilderness type setting, or, a place that would, not necessarily be right in the middle of, this wouldn't be in the middle of a town square somewhere. This could be out, where, raiding and scouting and stuff like that was going on. So we can do this in an outdoor setting, and we can really pay, but yet the details that we are zeroing in on, we can pay very close attention to and create that accuracy. And that's going to be setting the tone for the whole show. I mean, again, yeah, it's like the goal of this trailer is for it to go viral in January or in February when we release it. We're filming it in January, releasing it in February. And I think that's absolutely feasible. I think it will happen because, I've already seen like kind of the way we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be a statement about the Crusades. It's gonna be a powerful interpretation of the medieval world, and that is a rare thing in cinema, because so much is accuracy and stuff like that is often not taken into consideration, but it is something we're going to take into consideration. So. Quick super chat here from my good buddy Sam. Thank you, Sam. Sam's always got really insightful super chats when we do this. He says, until the later 14th century, there was actually a custom of the upper classes donating older clothes to charity. So a peasant in the 13th century could easily end up wearing expensive clothes. Exactly. And this is something I've actually been thinking about this week, is there's this really problem. I don't want to use the word problematic because there's a stigma attached to that word nowadays, but there's a problem with this view of the medieval peasantry as, I think, what was the idea in Monty Python? Just people walking around with shit all over them. That's not that is an inaccurate vision of the medieval peasantry. The idea that these people were just endlessly ground into the dirt, oppressed people. I mean, you think about a medieval plowman. This is somebody who had some standing in his community. This is somebody who had a skill that was vital to his particular village or to his community. This is somebody who would have had taken pride in who they were, who would have paid attention to their dress in some respects too. I mean, yeah, obviously not in the way that a wealthy nobleman could, but there would have been some consideration for fashion for somebody like that. So yeah, I think we kind of have to get away from this Monty Python type vision of the medieval world, where it's just you've got kind of knights running around hitting each other with swords, and then you've got a bunch of desperately poor, being grounded to the dirt peasants. I mean, that is really not what medieval civilization was like. So yeah, thank you very much, Sam. Let's jump over to another super chat here. This is, I'm not sure what currency this is, but thank you. 100 seems like a lot to me. How difficult was it for the Christians involved in the Northern Crusade with the Baltic pagans? Good stuff. Longtime watcher of your channel. Yeah, this is about the Northern Crusades. Austin, I'll bet you didn't know that there were Crusades in the Baltic back in the 13th century. Have you ever heard of that?
I know you do.
Yeah. So I guess this is from somebody who's Wardrum 85. Thanks for the super chat, man. I know I've seen you on the streams a lot. So thanks for hanging out. So what you're asking here is, I think what you're asking is conversion of the pagans in the Northern Crusades, because in case people don't know, the Northern Crusades, this was a process whereby mostly German, also Polish crusaders were involved in Christianizing what was kind of the last pagan portion of Europe, the Baltic, what are today the Baltic states. I would say, that's a huge question. Obviously, it's almost like you're kind of asking, how easy was it to achieve conversions? At times it was very easy. At times it was very difficult. I would say it happened more through a process of acculturation. Like, the Teutonic Knights, for example, they set up their monastic state in Prussia, and they, the pagan peasantry were baptized. They were inculcated in Christianity. I mean, this kind of was this process, and you can imagine how it's like socially over time this would take hold. It was being imposed from the top down. It was something that was also kind of, the other thing you have to remember too is, like, one thing that Latin Christendom was bringing into the Baltic at this time was a higher standard of living, a bit more stability, as opposed to the more nomadic sort of perpetual inter-pagan conflicts among the various pagan tribes in the Baltic and these regions. So that was something that kind of acculturated people to Christianity. I mean, it's around you. It's the thing that's that kind of helps people advance in certain, in these new settlements being established. But anyway, yeah, huge question. Sort of an open-ended question, but a very good one. Thank you, Wardrum. Hopefully that was a decent answer. But anyway, let's see here. Here's something from Tom Griffin. Tom, you're actually a moderator on the channel now. I don't know if I've told you that. I was able to make a couple of people moderators. I figured out how to do that. So Tom is one, and Other Realm Productions is one. I think I did a couple other people also. I have to, I'm not sure, but okay. Tom says, Richard the Lionheart made incredible preparations for the Third Crusade. Is it possible to calculate how much these preparations would have cost England in terms of today's currency? I don't know, but yeah, you're right. It was hugely expensive. One thing that's interesting about it, Richard the Lionheart was the first English king to really establish a navy, like a sort of a proper British, I'm not gonna say British, but English navy. I read an article about this recently from some historian. I can't remember where I read that, but yeah, the preparations for the Third Crusade were huge. I mean, I'm not sure. I think it may be possible to do that. I will have to look that up for you, Tom. But okay, let's see here. Oh, here's a good question. This will be a good one for Austin, because I know Austin has talked to me about this a bit. Julia S., are you going to use any time period music instruments? Jordi Savall has some great stuff from the Crusades era if you're looking for ideas. Yeah, I know you have been working on the... Sorry, my wife just sent me a funny text. Yeah, Austin, you have been working on some stuff with the music. So yeah, let's hear your thoughts on it.
Well, because of this channel, we have a few people who've reached out to us. I don't know if you had the chance to look at them, but I'm a big fan of you guys, the fans. What's happening is we're shopping around for the best musician to help us produce the songs on the show. But as of right now, we're still shopping around. Right now I'm kind of tunneling vision on the actual production, but the music stuff, I can't say anything because we haven't selected a person yet to produce the music on the show. But right now we're still shopping around. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, that is a good answer. Yeah, I know we are still working on the music a bit, but we're we're thinking something like yeah, I mean, think about the music in something like Arn the Knight Templar in Kingdom of Heaven in Gladiator. I mean, that's kind of what we're going to be going for. Here's another good question about the project. I just lost it. Let me see here. This was about the armor and the arms. Dustin, what efforts are you taking in assuring historically accurate armor and arms? Well, this is a lot of this is on me, and I have been working with Austin on this. We've already kind of drawn up some of our reference material for costumes and for weapons and armor, what we're looking for. And just like as an example, I gave Austin some references, and we're doing late 12th century, so it's in terms of it's not just, and for the show it's not going to be just armor and military attire. It's going to be regular stuff people are wearing too. We're not quite there yet. I mean, right now we're mainly working on the trailer. So the trailer is just going to be a military scene, so it's only going to be using military attire for our Christian and Muslim subjects in the trailer. But yeah, I mean, so it's late 12th century. It's the chainmail suits. It's the surcoat. It's the the one-handed sword like the Templars were using. One thing I want to avoid too is avoiding stuff. One huge problem with a lot of Crusade stuff is even if they get fairly accurate on the Christians, often the Muslim stuff will be wildly inaccurate. It'll be like 16th century armor and stuff. Like that was a huge problem in Kingdom of Heaven. Unfortunately, a lot of people pointed that out. The Muslims were using equipment and wearing stuff that was far later in the period. So we're going to try to keep both of those in the late 12th century. And I'm actually going to, I mentioned I was talking to some historians who I know, some professors who are experts in this area. I have already kind of secured their help in looking over everything we do to make sure it's accurate. I have like my buddy Sam, who's hugely knowledgeable. He's going to help me with that. But Austin, yeah, I mean, I know that this is important for you too, Austin. And so, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I kept on reading the comments, and I have to respond to a couple of questions. One is most of your questions. It is subscription based. It's like a crowdfunding project, right? And I feel like right now is the time to say the digital trailer that we're producing. I'm going to share if everyone's ready. We're about 60% funded for this digital trailer. And we're very close to our goals. We're about a couple fans away, maybe like 100 fans away to reaching our budget to make this digital trailer happen. Scouting and finding the right wardrobe has been a challenge because in Hollywood, we have how the system works is usually Warner Brothers or other studios have a basement where all this wardrobe and all the props are available. But a lot of the times, a lot of the props that we have on that Warner Brothers has, they usually sell it off to third-party studios, and that's what we've been doing. There's a video that we recently There's a video that we recently uploaded, but we had to take down. But this is a process. There's no such thing as a Hollywood studio that is a one-stop shop. Everything that we have for the Crusades is available. That does not exist. There's at least 6 studios we have to go to the basement, and it's literally like, I don't know if you see the show American Pickers, but literally selecting, oh, this prop's going to work, that's going to work, this is going to work. For the digital trailer, I just want the fans to know that we will not go on set and feel unsure about the wardrobe or the props. That's not our objective. Our objective is to make it tight, to make it exciting, and to actually get you guys to go to the Christian channel. Like, this is something you want to watch. If you want to watch the show, you have to subscribe to thechristianchannel.com, because right now our budget for the digital trailer for a 3-minute trailer is pretty average. A lot of really, I mean, it's in, I don't want to give a number out, but it's pretty average for a high production value show. Now, you have to understand, when we go to Spain, our budgets are a lot higher. So we're putting all of our eggs in this one basket for all of you guys to get excited about the show, because I think Joe and I could talk about this on the podcast hundreds of times. But I feel, as you, the fans, yeah, we're 60% funded. As you, the fans, you guys need to see what we're producing, because you guys determine if this show is good enough for you to subscribe for $6.95 a month. So with that said, we're doing the best we can with what we got. We know the resources we have in California. We have dunes, we have deserts, we have oceans. Trust me, even the state of California, the Film Commission, they love this idea. We were talking to the San Luis Obispo, the city council, and even they were excited about it. They're like, man, no one's made a movie on the dunes of Guadalupe Dunes since Pirates of the Caribbean. And I was like, can we have horses? Can we have camels? They said, of course, you can have all of it. So I'm telling you guys, as fans, even people that never heard of this channel are excited about the project. So when we film and everything's done and everything's cut, the music's beautiful, everything's perfect, and Joe uploads it on the Real Crusades history, not only do I want a viral video, I want thousands of you to go to thechristianchannel.com. By March, we'll already be on Roku. You could download it on the app for $6.95 a month. I want thousands of Crusade fans to go and subscribe, because that helps us budget the show. Because if we go to Spain with a little budget of $60,000, you're going to get a $60,000 production. And I don't want to, we'll do the best we can with what we got. But this show, with the camera equipment we have and the directors we have, this is not a sci-fi show. This is an HBO quality show, and the people attached to the project know that. Joe knows that. I know that. The directors know that. The production companies and movie studios know this could be the next big thing, but we want to present the most viable, visually stimulating product ever, so you guys know what you're watching, and you're like, you know what? I was a fan of J. Stephen Roberts way before he had this show. It's like, I want you guys to go to Comic-Con and dress up as Crusaders, because I go to Comic-Con. I don't know if you've done research. I used to be in animation. I went to Comic-Con. People dressed up as those little cartoons that we used to produce. I want you guys to go and just say, I'm here to watch the Real Crusade history. I'm here to watch Knights of the Cross, because I'm a huge fan. I've been a fan since the very beginning, before Christian channels. So I like to come on these podcasts, but I want to be really honest with the audience. It's all about you guys. It's really you guys move the project forward. Christian channel, you understand, Christian channel, as a producer and founder of it, after this project is up and running and the wheels are spinning, and Spain is it's going to be a roller coaster of a ride. But when that production's over, I expect J. Stephen Roberts to direct episodes. Because right now, our director, he's fantastic, but I see J. Stephen Roberts actually sitting on his director chair and says, no. I want it to look like this. So right now, we're doing the steps, all the steps any studio were to do, we're doing it. So the comments, we uploaded a video, and the comments weren't great. They were not great. Like 80% of them were good, but they were very criticism. I want you guys to know this is a process. It's a process. It's like cooking pizza. We're just barely making the dough. So you have to understand, when you guys watch the trailer and you guys see what we produce, and you see, wow, this isn't like sci-fi. Christian channel's not like Hallmark. Christian channel's really cool. Like, they're actually making really good content about history, about real Crusade history. So I get excited. Joseph knows that this project, I want it to run smoothly. I want thousands of Crusade fans to go on the Christian channel. Thousands. We can't do it without you. Okay? Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. So you guys, the fans, push the project forward. Even if you subscribe for free on the Christian channel, it tells me, you know what? We have thousands of subscriptions because of the show. We're going to do it. We're going to green light it. Oh, Christian channel made $100,000. Well, let's put 50 extra on this project because I could see this is a future we could really produce not only an amazing show, guys. You guys like the first season. You guys resubscribe to the next one. I have to tell you, the actors that I contact on the phone, they're big. They're big. They co-star with Leonardo DiCaprio big, okay? So they're excited. What I have to do as a studio, they just want talent, actors, and people on set. They want consistent income. So I need to reassure them that we have a show that is consistently running to entertain you. So I'm letting you guys know that this project is moved by you, but really it's the very end of the day, we see this project, Knights of the Cross, for 8 years. 8 years. But that's my long-term vision. I know we can't give you a bad product. We can't give you a bad show, because if it's bad, you guys aren't going to subscribe. That's the facts. So we're doing all the steps needed to make this show happen. There are other movies, other talented writers like J. Stephen Roberts that I want to work with and I'm talking to. But right now, this is the priority. 2020, the end of 20, we're in Q4 right now. Q1, we're filming. 2021, we're filming. 2021, we're in Spain. 2021 is because you guys supported it, and you guys are going to get it. So to answer your questions, why isn't this on Kickstarter? Why isn't this on other street? Because we're not. They take fees, but to be honest with you, Christian channel, it's kind of our first big original series. It's a bold statement. J. Stephen Roberts knows we got interviewed by major media outlets already about this. It'll be out in a couple days about the show. So we're making a buzz, but it's really you guys that are pushing this forward. You guys, we're talking to you. If you guys see us on Fox and NBC and CBS, and you're like, oh, I've seen them, I've heard of the show. That's what you do. The press, it's called promoting the shows. But I want to talk to you, the fans, and let you know that we're very close to our goal. We're more than 60% there. Just a couple hundred more people, and we're good for the digital trailer. The digital trailer is going to happen, but I just want to let you know, it tells me that, okay, we have thousands of fans that subscribed. Let's go ahead and go, let's put our money where our mouth is and go to Spain and make the show happen. So as a producer, I come at it financially, and J. Stephen Roberts is the lead writer. It's literally taking this content on YouTube that you watch for free and injecting it with Crusade steroids and actually making a huge production set. So it takes a lot of people, but a lot of the people we talk to are very talented. And the digital trailer, we want to do the best we can with what resources we have. So what we present to you about the Crusades for the digital trailer, I want to say February, maybe early March, you'll see it. This project, the accuracy, the wardrobe will be because you guys helped finance it. That was the budget we worked with. So sorry for the long tangent, but I hear a lot of the comments. I just had to answer 10 of them before going forward about going into the detail. Those are detailed questions. And to answer the detailed questions, you have to understand it's about the budget, So I just had to answer that for a few of the fans.
No, very good comments from you, Austin. I appreciate the breakdown there. So a couple of super chats here. Another good one from Sam on the subject of both armor and color. Helmets were frequently painted, nothing solid colors and more complex patterns. Absolutely. This is true. This is true. This is a good one from World War II Templar, also an old buddy of the channel. Get historical reenactors like me and Sam that have the correct mail. There are a lot of people that have the right stuff. Yes, and that is a resource we may very well be exploiting. So especially as we get closer to this trailer. But yeah, so just to kind of follow up with what Austin was saying, yeah, this is a startup project, and we do need support from the community. And basically what you guys can do to support Knights of the Cross and make it happen, I'm going to go ahead and post the link again in the chat. Go to christianchannel.com, sign up for a subscription, use the promo code Knights. That's how we're funding this project. So you guys can get in there, you guys can pre-order a subscription, and you will be helping us achieve our, like Austin was saying, we are more than halfway toward our goal for the trailer that we're going to be making. So we need a couple more hundred people to sign up. It's very reasonable. I mean, it's a monthly thing, just like Netflix. It's an annual subscription, and it's a reasonable contribution toward this vision for something authentic and real that we want to say about the Crusades. So yeah, and that is the idea, is to kind of get you guys excited enough to where you want to see this happen, and where to where you sign up. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. I'm seeing some funny stuff in the chat that I'm not going to jump on immediately, but you've got to be discerning with the chat when you're when you're a YouTuber. It helps. It kind of helps you navigate the topsy-turvy world of YouTube live streaming. But you can still laugh at some of the stuff you see in the chat. So here's a good one from Dustin. I shall subscribe. Thank you, gents. Well, thank you, sir. See, that's what we need. Yeah. And it's funny because when you have a YouTube channel like this, it's interesting how it does take time for everybody to hear about what you're working on. Like yesterday, I just posted kind of a little thing on the community section, just saying, hey, I'm really excited about this TV show I'm working on. Can't wait for you guys to see it. And like, I got probably, I don't know, about 40 comments or so of people saying, oh, wow, you're making a TV show. When's it going to be? And so luckily I have this video I made where I kind of go over the whole thing. So just posting that in the comments, like, here it is, this is the video where I explain everything about the show. Just go check it out. And, but yeah, it does take some time to get everybody on board and, even aware of a project you're creating. So this is a good one from Griffin. What are some central themes you guys are thinking about for Knights of the Cross? On that note, very excited about the project. Well, thank you very much, Griffin. We appreciate that. Our themes are going to be, we want to get at the really compelling stories that are already in the Crusades. Like a lot of film about the Crusades, they feel the need to create some new narrative, whereas really the source material itself is full of awesome story, awesome drama, and we want to focus more on that. Like, for example, for the first season of Knights of the Cross, we're thinking, and we're not totally sure, but we are thinking it's going to be kind of the Third Crusade. It's going to be following Richard the Lionheart's big crusade where he fought Saladin. In doing that, we're going to really focus on the actual events. Of course, there will be, fictionalized stuff in there, kind of like historical fiction filling in the gaps, but the story is going to be driven by the events that come to us through history. So we want to really be historically focused, and we want to get at the really meat of the story that's already there. So, and I know that, Austin and I, when we first started talking about this project, and I started throwing some ideas out to him, for some different scenarios, for some different storylines. He was saying to me, God, that's really amazing. Like that should be a movie. And I was saying, I know exactly, it should be. Like the Battle of Jaffa, for example, that should be a movie. So yeah, awesome. We're getting a lot of love for the project in the chat. I appreciate that, you guys. And I know that so many of you. I've gotten so much support from you guys writing me about this and telling me how excited you are about it, and people who are subscribing. It's awesome. We appreciate it, and because of you guys, this thing is going to happen and be amazing. So yeah. And Debit Rye here goes, no fiction, please. Okay, when I say that, I'm talking about kind of like these kind of like elements that you kind of put in to fill in the gaps. That is part of historical fiction. You can't just, we're not doing a documentary. We are creating drama here. So we're not just going to lay out the straight up, chronological way it's presented in the source material. We are going to weave it into a story. That is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about creating non-historical stuff for this. So will the Order of the Temple appear in the show? He's asking, will there be Templars in the show? Absolutely. In fact, I'm thinking there's going to be Templars in the trailer. It's going to be Richard and the Templars in this rescue thing, this cavalry rescue thing. It's going to be incredible. So yeah, one thing I was talking to Austin about when we were kind of settling on this idea for the trailer. I was like, we got to find guys who can do this stuff on these horses. And he's like, absolutely. I know people like that. So
can I tell them a story? Can I tell them a story about one of the actors? So one of the actors we were talking to, he's pretty famous. You'll know who we're talking about. Been on a couple TV shows. And I said, hey, do you know how to ride a horse? He's like, I've never been on a horse. And I was like, this is going to be some trouble. Interesting, because he's a strong, I always say he's a strong, I don't want to say his name, but he's a strong actor, right? Very big guy. Very big guy.
He's a strapping guy.
Yeah. And he was going to, we'll see. Might play Richard. We don't know yet. Like I said, I was trying to engage with you guys. These actors, they want a secure job. They're just like everyone else. They don't want to work for a week. They want a project where they could, for the next 8 years, they're like, oh, I got a show. So I gotta go to Spain. Got to film my show in Spain. But yeah, the talent we're getting for the trailer, yes. The three of them, the three main guys, the three big actors that they'll be in the scene. But the rest of the crew, those guys are, they know how to ride horses. These stuntmen, they know what they're doing. So I'm really happy about that.
This is a good message here from Debit Rye. Thank you, sir. Austin Kelly, you're awesome. The Lord fulfilled the dream of your life to this project better than these Hollywood, Bollywood, Dollywood, et cetera, need more Christian movies. So yeah. Thanks, man. We appreciate that. And yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. He's 100% right. I mean, a lot of the guys I'm talking to right now about producing great Christian content. If you guys watch, Taylor Marshall and see most of his guests, and I'm talking to those guys. I mean, those guys that we want to bring Christian cinema back. It's been way too long since like the 60s and 50s. So trust me, there's a lot of great stories, a lot of good documentaries we want to make. But this project, the Real Crusade History, is personally my number one priority to make it a smash success. So then I could step back as a producer and finance other Christian cinema movies. It's really it's a blessing, and we need fans like you to help support ChristianChannel.com.
Yeah, Tom Griffin says this is going to blow Kingdom of Heaven out of the water. Well, it's not like we're trying to compete or anything. But thank you, Tom. We appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, really, what we're doing here is starting a business. I mean, this is a this is starting something new, building something up. And as our last commenter said, I mean, this is something that needs to be done. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that is not the kind of stuff we all want to be watching. I know my audience. We're looking for something better, for something more accurate, for something more compelling, and for something that is. We're looking for something that's not only it's not just about like having a Christian theme or something like that. It's about getting away from these biases and issues that that you get from, I guess, quote unquote mainstream type streaming services that isn't what I want to see out there. I mean, that's one of the reasons we're making something like this. So yeah, this is something that needs to happen. I think this is a streaming service. I mean, just as an example, for me personally, I have a family. I want stuff that's like, yeah, I don't want the Hallmark Channel, but I want good content that I can feel like this is something I want my kids to see. This is something that's going to like reinforce the virtues and the strengths that I want to cultivate in them. This is going to be, something that's going to appeal to the higher things in them. So yeah, that's what Christian Channel is going to be about. And I think that this show, Knights of the Cross, is going to tap into a type of heroism and a type of virtue that I think needs to be experienced in TV shows, in drama. I mean, unfortunately, in a better world, that would be what it all was. But in our circumstances, that's, we know how things are. We want to do something different. We want to do something that is going to be inspiring. And yeah, I mean, like, I want my kids to see higher virtue, heroism in when we put on the TV. We don't watch a ton of it, but when we do, that's what I want to be there. You can do that with good storytelling. You can do that with compelling characters and still getting into the gritty aspect of the human condition and getting into all that. I mean, I know a lot of you guys have read my book. I mean, my book was not sunshine and lollipops, but I do feel that it was themed. I feel like there was a lot of human elements in it, but there was also these higher themes, these higher virtues in it that that's the kind of thing we want to tap into. So there you go. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat one more time because we're almost done. This is the link for signing up at Christian Channel. ChristianChannel.com is going to be the home for Knights of the Cross. Sign up there. Pre-order the subscription for next year. Use the promo code Knights. You get 10% off. You guys will help us make this happen. So, yeah, we're kind of coming to the end here. Let's see. There are a lot of chats going through, so we appreciate that, guys. We appreciate the commentary. I'm going to give a final word here to my good friend Austin, with whom I am fighting and struggling to make this awesome show happen. We are in the trenches, doing the thing, doing the work of creating something. And creativity is it's kind of what I've always done. It's a very energizing enterprise. So yeah, we're energized. We're having a good time making this. So yeah, Austin, any final words before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I mean, before we hopped on the call, I just want to get people excited. I personally, going through the details, I live in Los Angeles. J. Stephen Roberts lives in the Midwest, and in a few weeks, I'll be in the Midwest, helping wrap up the scripts with J. Stephen Roberts, because that's kind of a requirement, not for the digital trailer, but for the actual season, for our production team in Spain. So there's a lot of moving pieces right now, and it's really exciting. So like for the next year, there's going to be a lot of globetrotting. A lot of us will, like, in a couple weeks, I'll be in the Midwest, and then after that, we'll be back in LA to do, to make sure that we get our location, we do some scouting, have all the wardrobe set up, have all the talent ready to rock and roll, and production to start in January. It's no surprise we're in the middle of COVID. A lot of the movie studios are pushing, production to, well, they're doing it, but they're doing it a weird way, like a bubble thing. I don't know. And so I think for California, they gave us the green light to film in January. We were going to film it in November, right? Right, Joe? That was the plan. But
Yes.
but because of COVID, we decided we're going to push out till January. Release this digital trailer by February. God willing, millions of you watch it, and about 15,000 of you subscribe. That 15,000 subscription is a green light. It's a major green light. It means we got castles in Spain ready to go. The production company that we're working with provided us castles for the show. So it's, like I said, it's not a small show. It's a big production. The camera equipment, it's, I wouldn't say, it's more cinematic run and gun. A lot run and gun, meaning a lot of movement. It's going to feel like Indiana Jones. You're going to see, why is he riding on the horse and he kills somebody. So I think with the dialogue, it's going to be, having J. Stephen Roberts on the team. It's going to be really accurate. Storyline should be really accurate, but I really want it to be adventurous. I want our children in the teenage years to get excited, because this is our history. This really happened, and it's this is a time to tell a true story about the Crusades. And a lot of the studios we were with were really a surprise. They're like, is there any killing in the movie? I was like, it's the Crusades. Yes, there's killing. So I just have to let you know, these are the conversations we have, but we're working with some of the best people to produce this show, to the vision that J. Stephen Roberts has. And for you, the fans, it's really for you. So your criticism and your feedback helps improve us as a studio and storytellers. So we like to talk to you first, get to hear your feedback. We take it and we improve it and we make it better. So a lot of the comments, will it be in English or spoken in proper English? In order for us to sell the show internationally, because you guys don't see the data, but I do. We're huge in America, Canada, Australia, and the UK. So it will be in English. It won't be in Spanish or any other language. Maybe not. But it's looking like the whole production will be in English. The actors, the talent that we have that want to do the project, I'm telling you guys, you've seen them in movies, many of them. There's not just one actor. There's a lot of actors, and so they're excited about the project. So if they're excited, you're excited, we're excited. We just want to make production and the team. I think the team we assembled, that Joe and we talked to a lot of production companies, and the team we have in-house, they're the type of people, we all get along great. And I guess I'll tell you guys, they're the type of people you could grab a beer with. They're really down to earth. They like the project. They love it. The actors love it. So we want to have more people on set that are excited, and it's not just a job. I'll tell you guys personally, I make commercials for Amazon. So when I go on set every week, it's just a job. I don't get excited about making, I don't tell them that. but I'm more excited about this project because, for the first time in a long time, we've actually made great Christian content, and that, I could come after church and watch the Real Crusade History Channel, or I could go on ChristianChannel.com and watch the Knights of the Cross. So I want to give you guys the best version of the show. We don't want it to be cheap. We're not a cheap studio. I think if you go on our website now, a lot of the movies are Oscar nominated movies about, Christian movies that are Oscar nominated. So this is our culture, and I'm going to speak on culture. Culture in a company is important. I'm not going to talk down on other streaming services, but a lot of them have a really big turnaround, and the culture is not great. The fact that Joe and I get along great and the team gets along great, and we look at the long-term vision and not just sales and marketing, you have to understand we're passionate about ChristianChannel.com. We're passionate about Knights of the Cross. Other streaming services, not Amazon, Amazon's great, but other streaming services do not provide that culture. They just give you money, do the job, and we'll put it on our streaming service, and the culture is not great. It's really, that's not our environment. Our environment is talking to you, the fans, and giving you what you want. So I had to talk about that. It's been on my mind for a very long time, and we get along great here. It's not like, hold on, poof. It's not like we don't get along, but I'm going to the Midwest in a couple weeks. I've never been, but it's my first experience, and we want to write a really great script. And so I think you guys are in for a treat. And come January, we'll, God willing, we have thousands of you, millions of you watching the trailer, and thousands of you subscribed, so we could actually make it and pull this off. This is an underdog story. If you don't think it is an underdog story. But it's because of you guys. You guys make this happen, and without you, this wouldn't have been possible. And then years from now, when we're at Comic-Con in San Diego or New York or everywhere, and I go to the one in Arizona and Phoenix, I want to see you guys dressed up as Crusades. I want to get you excited. So I want Christian Channel and J. Stephen Roberts. I want to meet all of you in person. I think this is a great channel to start it. And Christian Channel, this is the first project. Trust me, there's going to be other projects. So my job for 2021, make sure this show is running smoothly and thousands of you subscribe. After, I have to step back as a producer and start another project. So I have faith in the project. I have faith in Joe and the team and all of you guys watching. And we're going to do the best we can. And the good news is we're so close. We're so close to our goal. More than 60%. More than 60% in just 4 weeks. So the digital trailer will happen. And then after that's dropped, God willing, we have thousands of you subscribed, and we could actually go to Spain and make the project work. But sorry if I kept you, Joe, but I had that on my mind. I just want the fans to know.
No, that's all really good stuff, Austin. I appreciate your input on that. So here's a good comment here. How much do we need to donate to show up as a Crusader prop in the show? Just sign up.
A plane ticket and a video reel, so we know you're a good actor.
There we go. Yeah, perfect. So let's see here. One person asked an interesting question up here. Let me see if I can find it again. It was, let's see. Yeah, I don't see it, but I'll just go ahead and answer it. He was asking about like how we're going to portray the Muslim characters in this. I'm just going to say right now, I am not at all interested in demonizing anybody in this.
Yeah.
I am interested in getting the perspective of Saladin and his guys across in this. Like, for the Third Crusade, our best source for what was going on in Saladin's camp is this book by one of Saladin's followers, a guy named Bahad-Din. And that was one of the sources I used for my novel about the Third Crusade, which was my go-to for getting the Muslim perspective. And yeah, this is not, I want legitimate tension and human interest in this. I don't want you know, like I don't want the mustache twirling villain. I don't want that. I want, in fact, I don't even, I view it as this conflict, this historical conflict between these factions. I mean, we can, I think that there's going to be admirable characters on both sides. No question about it. I mean, this is going to be, I want to do justice to everybody, who was involved in the Third Crusade. I don't think that, Saladin was some kind of mustache twirling bad guy. That's not how I'm going to portray him. I mean, because this conflict between Richard and Saladin, actually, one of the things that's so compelling about it is the high level of character that they both had. And, so yeah, this is something that we're going to take seriously, and I think is going to be done well. So that answers that. And then somebody asked about downloadable apps for Christian Channel. I will let my good friend Austin answer that.
Great. So when you guys pre-order the christianchannel.com, you are in the pre-order. You're in the pre-order phase. So December 3rd, you'll be getting your login code, which will be in your email. And then we'll be sending you a temporary password for about 24 hours. And you guys have to upload a password. If you forget it, we'll send you a new one. Not a big deal. But yes, we will be on the App Store. We'll be on Roku TV. We'll be on Amazon Fire. So it should be pretty easy to find us. We are a new app. So there'll probably be 0 to 10 reviews in the very beginning. But December 4th is the launch date. And I think I don't know, because of COVID, we're going to be having a little party, like a live stream party. But I think we'll be back in LA because I'll be in the Midwest in 3 weeks, and then Nashville for a film, and then I'll be back in LA. So to answer that question, that's the process. A lot of people pre-ordered, and they were like, I want to start streaming. You can't. Right now it's the pre-order phase, and you're actually getting a discount at $6.95 a month plus the 10% discount code. So it's the cheapest it's going to be. I think on the website after December 4th, it will be $9.99 a month, which a lot of you are like, that's all really expensive. Well, it's really expensive to run a streaming company. So, you guys probably don't want to hear the tech, but, a lot, with the servers and the costing of hosting servers, it's pretty expensive. So that's why it's $9.99 a month. But do it now. It's $6.95. That, and put promo code NIGHTS, because it helps us budget the show. And like I said, we're over 60% funded. I believe in like 3 to 4 weeks we'll be 100%. I think we'll do another podcast and announce it when we're 100%. But after we film the digital trailer and release it by March, the channel, christianchannel.com, you can go to christianchannel.com now and start watching a couple shows, couple trailers of the movies we have. But to answer that question, it will be everywhere. John Gibson, the show will be on your app, easy to download. And then you can go to christianchannel.com now to pre-order, and you'll have your codes, everything by December 3rd. And a lot of people, about almost 90% of the folks that pre-order, they ask the same questions. So that's a long answer to a short question, but I hope that helps people out there understand what they're getting themselves into.
All right. Good comments. Good explanations there, Austin. I appreciate that. So yeah, a lot of good commentary in the chat from everybody. Glad that everybody was here to be with us and discuss the show. So yeah, we are carrying on, and it's good having you on, Austin. I think we're at the end at this point, but yeah, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you, man. So I think it would be really cool. I mean, ask the fans, but it'd be really awesome if we do like a live stream together in the Midwest, in the same box, and answer some questions in a couple weeks. So just an update on the project. We will be filming the digital trailer in California. We do a press, a big news outlet, so there'll be articles in a couple of days about the show, about Christian Channel. The movie poster is currently in development, so you guys get to see, what the movie poster looks like. But the month of September and October, it's like development phase, so script writing, and then by November, December, locking in the location, locking in actors, locking in the wardrobe, and showing you guys some samples. We did film behind the scenes, and you can go watch it on ChristianChannel.com, some behind the scenes. But this is the beginning of the project. It's not final. So let's manage expectations from the fans. We're getting invited from the movie studios to rent props, and this is the process. And it's looking like we need to hire someone in wardrobe to make sure that everything's accurate when we start production on the trailer and start production in Spain. And you guys probably don't want to hear logistics, but it's going to be hard to ship swords and weapons from California to Spain. So that's why when we do film in Spain, I'll be there by February at their movie studios and getting all the props, crews, and everything prepared when we start filming. I want to say April or May of next year. So probably late April, early May. But we'll be wrapped. Production should be wrapped by May 31st. And you guys should have the show. The show is releasing August 21st of 2021. So it's on the website, but that's the release date to answer one person's question, how many episodes? We're probably between 7 and 9. That's the budget we have for the project.
All right. Okay. Well, that's it. Austin, good having you on, man. I'm just going to say it one more time. We've been talking today about Knights of the Cross. Knights of the Cross is an historical drama series that Austin, Kelly, and I are creating about the Crusades. You guys can help us make it happen. To do that, go to ChristianChannel.com, sign up, pre-order a subscription for next year. Use the promo code NIGHTS and you'll get 10% off. Christian Channel is going to be the exclusive home for our TV series, Knights of the Cross. So that's how you can support the show. That's how you can watch it when it comes out next year. So there we go. Yeah, that's Austin and I wrapping up our live stream. So thanks very much, guys. We will talk to you soon.